Hey loves, welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer, and on this channel, I like to talk about cookie decorating, cake decorating, DIY crafts, and other things. So if you are interested in those things, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of my YouTube family. On this video, I will be talking to you about why having a cookie decorating business was not for me. So a lot of times when you decorate these pretty, beautiful royal icing cookies, a lot of people will tell you, you're so talented, you should sell these. Why aren't you selling them? And I mean, that's awesome because it is kind of like a side hustle. And some people, this is all what they want to do is just decorate cookies. And that's awesome. Because I was pretty good at it, I realized that maybe I should sell these because I enjoyed doing it. It was a hobby at the time. And so I decided to start a business. Now I went into this with my sister because she was into cookie decorating as well. And so we started this business together and it was just fun having a partner. And well, now I don't have a cookie decorating business any longer, and I'm going to tell you just why it wasn't right for me. First things first, I love cookies, right? And I mean, when you sell cookies, you're making an extra income, which is nice. But let me tell you guys, when I first started decorating cookies, I was selling my cookies for about $35 a dozen. That was like a base price, depending on how many colors of royal icing, depending on the difficulty of the cookie, but it was $35. Now, I went in this business with my sister. So that's for a dozen of cookies. If you sell it for $35, that's half, okay? I was getting half of that because we split everything 50-50. Now, if you think about the time it takes you to make these cookies, it just wasn't a lot, okay? Why did we start at 35 a dozen? It was our first time having a cookie business. I think everyone kind of starts low because they're like, well, I don't know if my work is worth it, or just that fear of people saying, oh, you want me to pay like $50 a dozen for some cookies? And it just was like a mistake to start off that low to begin with, especially if your work is more valuable than that. But anyway, that's just like a whole nother discussion. And now this may not be the case for everyone, but considering my day job, I mean, I was making more spending an hour at my job than I was making cookies. So even though I love to do it, it just was not worth the monetary value, okay? And sometimes if you try to go higher, some people didn't want to pay higher. They'd be like, oh, that's a lot. Can you like just do half a dozen, you know? So it really depends on, I guess, who you're targeting. You know, do you want to take large orders? Do you want to attract corporations who need like 8 or 9 dozen cookies? Because then that makes sense. It adds up. Or do you want someone who just wants cookies for a birthday party, who just are interested in a dozen while they still have other things that they have to buy, so they don't want to spend their whole budget on cookies, which is understandable. So anyway, it just was the money part just didn't make sense for me. Now, it depends on the type of people the type of clientele you want to attract, okay? So for me, and I'm going to say this myself, when I plan parties, I don't want to spend $100 on a dozen of cookies. That's just not my target, but I will spend over $100 for some family pictures. Okay, it might be like 5 pictures. Here's a mini deal. Okay, I'm getting everybody dressed and we're going to take pictures. It just depends on who you're targeting and if they're interested in paying the amount that you are charging for your cookies. So I know it was a mistake at first to charge that low in the beginning, but I mean, you live and you learn. Even if I would have went higher to say 70 a dozen, which is my typical price now if I do custom cookies, it's still not worth it for me to just take this a full-on cookie business. Next reason, I didn't like taking orders from people. Okay, let me just go out and say this. People don't know what they want. And I'm guilty of that. I'm like, okay, I know I want something pretty. I want something beautiful. I may not know exactly what I want, but I know what I don't want, right? And a lot of times when I would get orders, people would give me creative freedom, which I would love. And I've never had anyone complain, but it's just that fear of, oh, what if I do something wrong? You know, what happens if you don't like this design or this color that I chose for this? You know, it's always that. So I'm more of a person who, if you know what you want, I like that. If you want to give me creative control and you're fine with it, that's fine too. But it just wasn't my thing. And you know what? I decorate cookies as well. And a lot of people ask me, oh, can you make cookies for me? And I realized like, just taking orders is just not. Now, can I do a set? Here's what I have. You buy this? Yes. I can make some apple cookies and say, this is what I have. Come get these cookies, right? Now, if it comes to, okay, here's a set of Christmas cookies that are offering. If you want them, let me know. I could do that. But I just didn't like taking orders when people didn't really know what they wanted. I'm a creative person, but just not on that side. I didn't necessarily enjoy it. Time, my, oh my, okay. Time, it takes time. Let's talk about how long it takes to make cookies, okay? Let's say you spend your first day baking all the cookies you need and making royal icing, okay? That's not coloring the icing, that's just making it. Okay, let's say day 2, you say, okay, I'm gonna color the icing, I'm gonna make my consistency that I need, and then I might start flooding. That's day 2. Okay, day 3, you're adding details to them. And this can possibly go over to day 4. So you're taking about 3 to 4 days to make a set of cookies. Okay, and that takes time. So my problem is I was working while doing this. I have a family with young kids and I had other responsibilities as well. So it's just my time. The time it took me to make a dozen cookies for someone or 2 dozen, it just did not go with my work-life schedule. Okay, I had to kind of like tell my kids, okay, y'all sit down, do this so that I can make these cookies. And it was kind of getting a little stressful. And I think that's why sometimes when people do cookies, you might see them take a break because it can get stressful. Okay, it's not fun anymore. It's not fun. You're dreading getting an order. I'm just being honest, okay? Because you're like, I'm so tired right now. So if you do have a business, just make sure that you space out your orders. Make sure you say, okay, if I can take 1 order a week, then do that. Don't try and do more. Don't be afraid to say no. Just go ahead on and space that out. And then sometimes it's not worth it because you have a guilty feeling because maybe you're not spending the time with your kids like you should. So just for the time that it takes, the whole process for making cookies for me, it just wasn't worth it at the time. And my last reason, and oh my goodness, this is the good one, the passion. Now, I love doing it as a hobby. Don't get me wrong, but that was not my passion. My passion is to teach. I love to teach. I love to teach. I was a science teacher when I was like in college, high school for a summer camp. I was a tutor. So my passion is more with teaching, okay? So my passion may not be to take your order and make you a set of cookies, but I'm all for showing you how to do it yourself, right? I think some people, their passion is to make cookies. They love to bake for people. They love to sell it, and that's good. If that is your passion, then you're gonna love having a cookie decorating business, right? But my passion was different, and I had to come to realize that even though I can do this, I wasn't happy doing it. Make sure that you realize what makes you happy, right? Are you happy having a business? Or maybe you want to do a pop-up and do it sporadically. That's okay. You don't have to be open 24/7. You don't have to do this all the time. Even though I don't have a cookie decorating business, I do custom orders sometimes, okay? So, and it all depends on my schedule. It depends on, am I working? Are my kids off from school? Do they have after school activities? Am I able to commit the time I need without getting frustrated to do this and have fun with it? And really, that is why I started my YouTube channel, was because I wanted to teach. I wanted to make cookies. So I make cookies when I feel like it, and I shoot the videos for those cookies, and I'm teaching you guys as well. There is a happy medium. Maybe you just want to do pop-ups and have cookies every now and then. Whatever it may be that you want to do, just make sure you take the time, you think about it, and you do what you love and what you have a passion for doing. All right, everyone, I hope this video was helpful for you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this video, share it with everyone. Thank you. Bye.